Judd, back with another edition of My Road to Recovery with my dear co-host and owner of Lawrence County Recovery, Kathy. What's up?
Hey, not much.
How you doing?
Amazing.
Hey, before we get into this next interview, real quick, Kathy and I were talking earlier today. The response has been incredible. You know, when you start talking about recovery and addiction and that sort of thing, you never know who your audience is, who's going to sit around and watch 10, 15 minutes of all of our stories and so forth. And the shares of people that have watched it and shared it with the public and the comments, it's really overwhelming, and it really does your heart good to be able to do something for the community, what we're trying to do and project. And I hope you're happy with it as well.
Oh my gosh, it's unreal to me, the number of people. We've just gotten several messages, hey, keep doing it. We believe that recovery is out there. People do and can recover. It's amazing. The community has just taken us in. It's great.
It is, and I can tell you real quick before we talk to Randall over here, I was right outside of Baltimore, Maryland this weekend, in Deal, Maryland, doing a show, and I had a young lady come up and say, hey, really enjoyed watching the last couple of podcasts. And that's when it really hits you, because you're 400 or 500 miles from home, and you're thinking the only people are watching are just within earshot of here, local people, and that meant a lot. But we just want to say thank you for everybody watching it. Continue to share, continue to help the podcast, video podcast grow, because the more people see it, you never know. And that's why we're doing these. We got Randall on today, and listen, I've already heard some of your stories, so I can't wait to hear it from the horse's mouth. But the more people that watch these, there's so many people out there that it could be happening to them now, and they don't know exactly where to turn to or what to do or who to call. And that's why we're doing these, to show you that there is hope, there is power in recovery, and it is possible. And I'll tell you why, because there's a dude sitting here about 3 or 4 feet from me that, from what Kathy told me today, put them through the ringer there in the beginning. So, Kathy, I'm going to let you introduce Randall, give a little bit of history, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, sure thing. So, a couple years ago, when we decided we were going to open Lawrence County Recovery, when you're the new kid on the block and you try to, drum up some referrals and you start calling probation officers and things and tell them what you're trying to do, and we got some headway, and we got to talk to some people at Star, or down at through Lawrence County at Star Community Justice. And they said, we got a couple guys that's about to complete Star and they need transitional living. And I thought, bring them on, And this gentleman right here happened to be on the other end of a phone. He called me and we did an over the phone interview, and I'm asking him some questions, and he was like, hey, hold up. I got questions for you.
A lot of questions.
She
told me this today. This is really funny.
It was funny. He was like, I need to know how fast I'm going to move through this level of services, and how fast do you do this, and what's the blackout period? And I was like, hold up. This dude's well-versed. He's about to give me a run for all the money and really going to try to, do the next right thing. And I knew right away that he was going to be different. And I was hoping and praying that he would kind of refocus his energy, and he has came out a rock star. Randall, it's been amazing to watch.
How long ago was that, Kathy, when that happened?
Gosh, you come in
3.5 years ago.
3.5 years ago. I thought it was close to 4 years ago.
Yeah, almost 4 years ago.
Because we'll be open 5 years next month. Yeah. And you were one of the first of our men's. We opened starting with women's program. Men's program was second, and you were about the first or second that come out of Star that come through our program. And it can't believe that much time has passed. I can't believe the person that's sitting in front of me right now. Did you ever envision a couple years ago that this would be possible today?
I was thinking to myself early on the way here, if you would have told me 4 years ago, if I would have sat still and listened and made some changes, that I would succeed and have the things I do today in my life, I would think it was a sick joke.
Oh, it was you, but you really, and you didn't take no for an answer. I need you to know. I know Sean, your counselor.
Definitely
every time we'd turn around, he'd come in and we'd be scratching our heads because you were versed.
Yeah.
You knew recovery. You've been through treatment. You had some prison
time.
And
that's not always a good thing.
Not
when they know that much about
it. It's crazy.
I didn't have prison time, but I had 2 Star trips.
So tell us a little bit.
Yeah, let's go. Since I'm not as familiar, maybe some of the people out there, of course, aren't familiar. If you don't care, we don't have to go back 30 years or anything. But tell us a little bit about the history. High school. What was going on? I heard, I'm sure you played some sports along the way, and man, just where'd you get off the wrong exit at? Kind of what happened? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up with my dad as a single father, and always hung out with the older crowd. And like everybody else, peer pressure, that's where it started. I was about 13, and at the time I was an honor roll student. I had played soccer, and I was a good kid. And I started hanging out with the older crowd, and we started smoking and drinking, the typical teenager thing. But at 13 years old, your mind's still developing.
Sure.
And I just wanted more and more. I was the addict. Like, as soon as I felt different the first time, I just wanted to feel different
Once you
every
got
day.
the head change, it was
Every
all
day.
right.
And like, I wasn't trying to escape a life, like, because I was abused or had a shitty childhood.
Right.
Like, I was that scary addict because I just like to feel different.
See, that's me. I was your atypical. I felt bad about telling my story because I didn't have trauma. I didn't have daddy issues. I mean, I had a pretty good childhood, and then you talk to people that didn't. So, I mean, how does that move you through to where you are today? I mean, how was you able to kind of get honest with the fact that you just like to do dope?
Yeah. Well, it took me 20 years to realize that, and some lessons like my 3 felonies was a blessing. And that's what actually started me. So for 20 years, from the age of 13, 20 years on, I just progressed my addiction from one drug to the next. I've been on it all. But
you covered all of it.
all of it. I mean, at first it
Yeah.
was coke,
Yeah.
the coke addiction at 18, which turned into a crack addiction.
Right.
I did that for about 2 years, and I thought I wanted to be clean. And I stopped doing hardcore drugs, but I still took pills, still drank, still smoked. You know what I mean?
Still had to have that
Still
mind
had to have
manipulation,
something.
right?
Yeah,
Change.
something
Yeah.
every day.
Change.
It seemed like for 20 years I never had a day sober. You know what I mean? Off something. And I was that addict, like when I was, like I said, as a teenager, I was in your grandma's medicine cabinet, just trying to find what would make me feel different.
Right. Just
You know what I
anything
mean?
to change that mind, huh?
Yeah, but like once I had that physical addiction, like on the coke, that's where everything changed. You know what I mean? And I started manipulating, started using, and started destroying all the bridges. You know what I mean?
And when you're talking about the cocaine thing, for me, there was a time that it wasn't like I had to use it every 20 minutes or 30 minutes like you do when you're in just full-blown addiction, but I had to have it in my pocket.
In your pocket.
Yeah,
To know
I just
it's
had
there.
to
You can
know
reach
that.
for it.
I mean, here I am, driving, and just I mean, at any given time, if I'd have got pulled over, I'd have got busted. But I didn't have to use every 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. But there wasn't a day for, God, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe longer than that I didn't have dope in my pocket. And I felt so much better in a sick mind of an addict.
Yeah.
I felt better knowing I had a pocket full of
Yeah.
dope just in case.
Yeah.
And maybe the same for you. I mean.
Yeah, if I didn't have it in my pocket, even if I was well, I could manipulate myself into thinking I was sick.
Exactly. Just so you could get more. And then sometimes it's the sick thing of knowing, what if I get put in a situation that I can't get myself out of? Well, I know that I've got a pocket full of courage.
Yeah.
And if I got that,
yeah.
and then it ain't nothing. You can't slow me down. You can't stop me. I could take on when I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof. And it's a sad way of thinking.
That's why it's a mind thing, because even though I wasn't sick, I was manipulating myself into thinking I was sick.
Oh yeah, you can talk yourself right into pulling that bag out of your
yeah.
pocket.
Oh,
can't you?
yeah.
I
was-
talk
I was
myself
the
into all
same
kinds
way.
of bad stuff.
So tell me how that kind of progressed through. Where do you finally start making the detour where you got felony convictions? Like, how does that happen?
Okay, so about 2010, that's when I became hooked to Oxycontin. And I was always that person. I would never shoot. I thought that was nasty. I wasn't as bad as an addict because I didn't IV it.
same thing.
And well, next thing you know, I'm an IV user. I'm a needle junkie. You know?
I'm that guy.
I'm that guy that I said I'd never be. But once I put that needle on my arm, it was a whole new addiction. Like
What does
nothing-
that mean? Like, what changed?
Like before, I was like a maintaining addict. You know what I mean? Like I took care of myself. I didn't steal, didn't rob, didn't use, manipulate. But once I stuck that needle on my arm, nothing else mattered. I wouldn't work. I wouldn't do nothing productive. I just created damage and wreckage through everything I come in
Total
contact
chaos
with.
at that
Total
point.
chaos. Yeah.
They say that there's a point in time where you become more addicted to the needle than sometimes you do the dope.
I was addicted to the whole process, like working it up and the needle.
And
I mean, all
that's hard to come through it, and it's
Yeah.
hard to kind of move from that mindset to change that. When's the first time you really tried to put forth an effort to get sober?
The first time I actually wanted to get clean was this past time. I actually turned myself in. And it was because I was homeless at wintertime and I burned all my bridges. But this time I turned myself in. And I didn't have to because I was running for over a year. You know what I mean?
When it was COVID was going on
Yep,
at the time
COVID
too,
was
so you
going
kind
on.
of got that little kind of that slip where you're not reporting face to face, so
Yeah.
you kind of POs
right.
really ain't. They don't have to lay eyes on you.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously they really weren't looking for me, but they was just waiting to catch me.
They knew
But-
you'd turn up somewhere.
And I turned myself in thinking like I could manipulate Ballard into thinking I went to rehab. He'll just let me do rehab and I have a place to stay during winter and restart the process as soon as winter's over. You know what I mean?
He's
'Cause I didn't want to
he's a
get
pretty
clean.
smart judge.
Oh, he's a good judge.
Yeah.
He
I
is
love
a
him to
good-
death.
He is.
But once I turned myself in, I thought that I would just do rehab. But he had in store for me sending me to STAR for the second time. And then after that, he said, since you like treatment so much, you're going to go back to treatment. So that was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I've been to all the treatment places in the tri-state pretty much. And not knocking any of them. Each works for somebody
Well,
different.
sure, yeah. They all have something good.
Yeah,
But at
they do.
LCR, when I arrived there, I knew a bunch of group of the guys, and we all clicked. You know what I mean? And at some point in time, a few months of being there, I just started wanting more.
I've told people that there's something that real magical happened with that group of guys that you were with. And it happens sometimes just with different ones. And it's like you get a couple guys and a couple girls together that really want to do something different. You guys exploded into the recovery community.
Yeah.
Ironton had a recovery community, but it hadn't seen nothing until you guys got started.
Yeah.
And I say that you guys changed the face of some meetings.
We
You
definitely
guys
did.
made it cool going to the meetings again. You gave a life to actually going to doing the things that you have to do. I mean, it was simply amazing to see some of the things that you guys were able to kind of move and transfer. It really, sitting back thinking about it, it was simply amazing.
It's actually grew big ever since then.
It has.
You know what I mean?
It totally, you guys really, and it was a driving force. If someone fell off, please believe these guys right here, they were calling me at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'll
I
come in
can't
your
tell
house
you
and
how
get
many
you.
times they call like, Cat, hey,
Can
listen.
you imagine being able to do that?
Yeah.
You know, considering where you were 10, 15 years ago, you know, there were people picking you up off the floor at that point.
It's good being able to be counted on. I have people call me all the time that need a bed or need an ear, you know what I mean? But I never thought, like I said before, 4 years I'd have a home, a fiance. Every man wants to be a father, you know what I mean? And 40 years of madness, I never did. I never thought I would. And after converting to being a Christian and giving my will to God, He had blessed me with a son. So that's the most amazing gift. You know what I mean? I'm 42, about to be 43 next month with the 2-year-old, and I work midnights and it's challenging, but like my life is rewarding. And like Kat always said, once you build a life more rewarding, you won't give it up.
You don't.
Oh,
When you
yeah.
get something you don't walk away from. I've told the story the other day about you guys going on your vacations.
Yeah.
And there's one picture you guys shared on Facebook, and there were several of you guys in recovery. And there was like 13 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
And it was in a condo that you guys had rented at the beach.
All recovering addicts.
And it was all recovering addicts. And it makes me
Man,
emotional.
ain't
I
that-
could cry.
Oh,
But I sat there and I
absolutely.
counted in the shoes. Some of them were kids' shoes, and some of them were women's shoes, and some were men's shoes. And I just thought, oh my God, like that's it right
Oh,
there.
yeah,
That
that's
picture.
everything you could ever want right there. You're on vacation, you got kids, you got a condo, and life is good.
And my recovery family, you know what I mean? And that's one reason I'm able to keep what I have today.
Yeah.
I mean, because I have a circle now. Like if I start to slip or have a bad day, they know. And they don't see me enough. And it's just, I have a busy lifestyle, but like I said, busy what keeps me grounded.
How's
I don't have
your,
time to do
how's your
nothing.
young'un?
He's
How's-
2. He just turned 2.
See, I used to tell people all the time, and still do when I speak in public, you know, you have to have a reason. You have, phew,
I know.
you have to find a reason, you know, and my daughter was my reason. You know, I could not fathom looking at my at my daughter, knowing I've been high at the moment,
Yeah.
you know, because even though she may have never known, your son would never know at 2 years old,
Yeah.
you know.
I know.
And there's your accountability right there, man.
Well,
And
he
that-
knows,
Yeah,
and that's my
absolutely.
accountability always,
Yeah,
so.
we can fool them all. You know, I can
Yep.
fool this young'un right here. I can fool all these people. You can fool us. You ain't gonna fool that
Never.
one.
No.
And that's the one you gotta make sure you stay in good graces with anyway.
It's amazing. So tell me about probation and stuff. How's that working for you? How did you move through that? Because I'm gonna tell you, some people tell you get caught in the cycle of probation in Lawrence County, you're stuck.
You are stuck, but
Did you get stuck?
I did. I got stuck, but it was all self-inflicted.
But you got out of it.
Yeah,
You
I
did it
did.
all, didn't
It
you?
took me the max time, and they let me go. But Lynn Stewart, she's the best probation officer ever. But like, she holds you accountable.
She does.
And and she did me, and she got
was
tired
amazing. She got tired of messing with me too.
Me too. She got tired of
She
messing with
afforded me
me.
the opportunity to get my stuff
But,
together.
she handed me off to somebody else, Eddie, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna finish with you. Everything's gonna be full circle, and I did.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
she's the one that let
wasn't
me
it?
off probation. She's the one that suggested it to Carl, and I'm thankful for.
I'm just grateful just to see
Yeah.
what you've done and the lives that you've changed. I don't think you've ever taken the time to sit back and fully take a deep breath and look around to some of the people that you helped. You know, a lot of folks, you've called me, I can't even count the number of times, hey, Kat, listen, I got one, man. Like, you got a minute? Like, I know you've had this one a couple times,
Yeah.
man. Just listen to
It's
me
like
for
fishing.
a second.
Yeah.
Well, that is like fisherman and being a Christian.
Yeah.
And recovery is pretty much the same thing. I'm trying to
Absolutely.
give what was freely given to me, and I just want somebody else to have the same peace I have.
And you know, that's why we do this. I mean, and that's a great way to end it is, you know, because there's somebody's story I've told Kat many times, you know, I quit telling mine because mine was so minute compared to hers, which is maybe minute compared to yours, but there's somebody that's sitting out there that has it a whole lot worse than all three of us ever
Oh,
had.
God, yeah.
And when they hear stories like yourself and and others that will be on here, they may go, well, man, if that dude can do it,
Yeah.
maybe I should give it a shot. I mean, he put his pride aside. He's raising a kid, got a home now, got a job, got a life.
Working.
Maybe I can give it a shot, you know.
Yes.
And that's the only reason. That's the only agenda that she and I and Lawrence County Recovery has is
Yes.
is to give people a reason to come in and get the help that they need. And man, what a great story, dude. You made my heart feel good tonight.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Well,
you.
LCR was a big part of it. So, like I said, it gave me a home, and it made me feel comfortable where I was able to share and open up. And you know what I mean? And they're still family. If I ever need something, I call them. Like, I at least call them every other week.
Yeah,
I
usually
keep
it's
in
on
contact.
in.
He checks
They
in
know if
all
I
the
don't
time.
check in, there's
Yeah,
something wrong.
I'll hit him back like, hey, what's up,
Yeah,
man? He's
yeah.
like, kind of been on a long string of midnights. Like, it's been a rough one.
A
But
quick check in.
yeah.
Well, listen, buddy, man,
Yes.
best of luck to you
Yes.
with that kid, with the job, with the family, the fiance. And I always say, you know, God gives front row seats to mamas, second row to daddies. For people like yourself are going through the hell you've been through, come out on top. You got you a shot up there at this point, hanging there, okay? All right, buddy. All right, we're going to get out of here, Kat. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for watching My Road to Recovery. Really appreciate it. See you next time. Y'all have